Hello, my name is Dr. Sharu and today I will talk about analysis of utility indifference curve approach. So we will start with the introduction to utility. Now what is the meaning of utility? Utility analysis is based on the assumption that cardinal measurement of utility is possible. In this particular topic, we will talk about utility and we will discuss what is the difference between wants and needs. Utility can be expressed in cardinal numbers only. The consumer can compare the satisfaction derived from the different goods or from different units of the same good. So in this particular topic, we will check whether the satisfaction level achieved is different in the different units of goods consumed. So basic definition of indifference curve is an indifference curve is a curve which shows different combinations of two commodities. So this is a very important term in this particular topic. We will only talk about two commodities and we will compare only two commodities. So we are confined to only goods only. We are not talking about services. So an indifference curve is a curve which shows different combinations of two commodities yielding equal satisfaction to the consumer. So one of the basic and prime assumption of this topic is that the level of satisfaction is equal when we are consuming two different types of commodities. It means all the points located on an indifference curve represent such combinations of two commodities as yield equal satisfaction to the consumer. Now in the next slides, when I will show you the graph of the indifference curve, we will see there are different combinations of two commodities and we assume that different combinations are giving the same level of satisfaction to the buyer or consumer. On the graph, a quantity of one product appears on the x-axis and the quantity of another product appears on the y-axis. So we will discuss two commodities, for example, good X and good Y. We will take good X on the x-axis and good Y on the y-axis. So consumers would be equally satisfied at any point along a given curve. At each point brings the same level of utility to the consumer. The slope of indifference curve is the marginal rate of substitution. So let's discuss the curve first. So an indifference curve which shows combination of two commodities X and Y. So in this particular curve, we are considering two commodities, commodity X and commodity Y. On commodity X, quantity of commodity X will be measured on the x-axis and quantity of Y commodity will be measured on y-axis. So therefore, as we have discussed, the level of satisfaction will be same. The term which is similar to the indifference curve is iso-utility curve. So again, the combination x1 and y1, x2 and y2 provide the same level of utility, which means the buyer or consumer is getting same level of satisfaction from their combination x1 y1 and combination x2 y2. So therefore, the another name of this particular indifference curve is iso-utility curve. So the properties which we will discuss is how we are going to plot this curve, how the graph, how the plot of the X and Y commodities will be appeared on the curve. So first property of indifference curve is an IC generally slopes downward from left to right. So as you can see in the curve, on the x-axis we have taken good X, on the y-axis we have taken Y good, and the curve in most of the cases the curve will be downward sloping, which is from left to right. It is convex to the point of origin. The shape of the IC curve is always convex. Yes, in some cases it can be concave also, but they are only exceptions to the indifference curve. Two IC never touch or intersect each other, which means if IC1, IC2 and IC3, these IC will never touch each other and they will never intersect each other. Higher IC indicates higher level of satisfaction, which means in this particular curve, as we can say IC1, 2 and 3, the highest level is IC3, which means IC3 is greater than IC2, which is greater than IC1 also. Therefore, IC3 is given maximum level of satisfaction to the consumer and IC1 is giving minimum level of satisfaction to the buyer or consumer. IC should generally not touch x-axis nor y-axis because we only assume that the quantity of goods which we are consuming is never 0. So therefore, neither the quantity of good X is 0 nor the quantity of good Y is 0. So therefore, it cannot touch X axis or Y axis. IC may or may not be parallel to each other, which means it can be parallel or it cannot be parallel to each other. In both the cases, the IC is correct. So these are the major classification properties of the indifference curve. So next we'll talk about indifference map. So indifference map is somewhere similar to indifference curve. The only difference between indifference curve and indifference map is the graph which represents a group of indifference curve. So in the previous slides we have talked about only good X and good Y, and we were examining the satisfaction level of only two goods. But in the similar graph, if I am going to judge or I am going to examine or identify a relationship between different types of goods, so we can plot different types of IC into one particular graph, which can be known as indifference map also. So indifference map is the graph which represents a group of indifference curve, each of which expresses a given level of satisfaction. So again, as we have discussed in properties, in this particular indifference map, we have 4 ICs, 4 indifference curve. We have named them as I1, I2, I3 and I4. So like we discussed in the properties, the highest IC is I4 and the lowest IC indifference curve is I1, which means I4 is greater than I3, is greater than I2 and I1. Again, in this particular graph, instead of taking good X and good Y, I have taken example of apples and oranges. So the various ICs representing on the same graph is known as indifference map. Next we'll talk about indifference schedule. So till now we talked about only curves, but when we are talking about tabular presentation of two goods, then it is known as indifference schedule. So please note, in cases where schedule will be mentioned, it automatically depicts the tabular form of presentation. So an indifference schedule refers to a table showing different combinations of two commodities which yield equal satisfaction. So a consumer therefore gives equal importance to each of the combination. So if we look at the table, I have made 4 combinations in this: A, B, C and D. In the next row we have taken quantity of apples, and in the next we have taken quantity of oranges. So in the combination A, we are assuming a consumer is consuming 1 quantity of apple and 4 quantity of oranges. So even if the quantity of apples is less and quantity of oranges is more, even then the satisfaction level of consumer and buyer will be similar. In combination B, the quantity of apples is 2 and the quantity of oranges is 3. In combination C, consumer consumed 3 apples and 2 oranges, and in the last combination D, the consumer consumed 4 apples and 1 orange. So in this all combinations, we are assuming even if there is a lot of difference between the quantity of apples and oranges, even then the satisfaction level of buyer and consumer will be same. So again, the tabular representation of the same curve is known as indifference schedule. Now next is law of marginal rate of substitution. Earlier we talked about how the indifference curve has discovered its slope. So law of marginal rate of substitution is an important law on which the whole concept of indifference curve is based. So law of marginal rate of substitution is discovered by Lerner, Hicks and Allen, 3 basic and you can say father of economics who have given the law of marginal rate of substitution. So it is the rate at which the consumer can substitute one good for another without changing the level of satisfaction. As in the previous slide, we have seen there is a lot of difference between the quantity of apples and quantity of oranges. But if we look at the total level of satisfaction in all this combination, the total level of satisfaction is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 2 plus 3 is again 5. 3 plus 2 is again 5. And 4 plus 1 is again 5. That means the 5 is the fixed number of satisfaction of the buyer or consumer. So similar thing is given by Lerner, Hicks and Allen. It is the rate at which the consumer can substitute one good for another, which means a buyer can increase or decrease apples or oranges, but the level of satisfaction will remain same. So without changing the level of satisfaction, it determines the slope of indifference curve. The formula of marginal rate of substitution, so MRS XY, the XY donates good X and good Y. Like in our example, it was apples and oranges. So we can simply write down MRS XY is equal to decrease in consumption of Y good divided by increase in consumption of X good. So the quantity which is decreasing is going to be calculated in numerator part, and the increasing quantity will be in the denominator part. So by this formula we can calculate or we can determine the slope of indifference curve. Like I told you, it is always convex to the point of origin except in certain situations. Now we talk about three important types of marginal rate of substitution. The first part is constant marginal rate of substitution, then increasing marginal rate of substitution, and last is diminishing or decreasing marginal rate of substitution. So we'll start with the first type. The first type is constant marginal rate of substitution. As the name shows, as the name depicts, the marginal rate of substitution of perfect substitutes is constant if to obtain one more unit of X, only one unit of Y is sacrificed to maintain the same level of satisfaction. So in this particular constant marginal rate of substitution, the rate at which good X or good apples or oranges or good Y is decreasing is similar. So if we talk about this indifference schedule, we again talk about apples and oranges. In combination A, the consumer is consuming 1 apple and 10 oranges. But in combination B, apples are increased to 2 and oranges are decreased to 1. So therefore this changes 1 and again this changes 1. There is a change of 1 in apples, increase in apples is 1 and decrease in oranges is again 1. So marginal rate of substitution will be 1 upon 1. Again in combination 3, it increases to 3 and it decreases to 8. Again the change is 1, so again 1:1. In combination D, it increases to 4 and it decreases to 7. Again the change is 1:1. So in this particular constant marginal rate of substitution, if to obtain one more unit of X, in this example the good X is apples and only one unit of Y is sacrificed and Y is good orange. So we are increasing apple 1, 1, 1, 1 and we are decreasing apple by oranges by 1, 1, 1, 1. So the rate of change is constant. So therefore the name is constant marginal rate of substitution. The second is the curve of constant marginal rate of substitution. Using that indifference schedule, when we are going to plot it, it will be a downward sloping curve, and on the x-axis we will take apples and on the y-axis we will take oranges. So when apples were 1, oranges were 10. When apples were 2, oranges were 9. When apples were 3, oranges were 8. And when apples were 4, oranges were 7. So this shows the slope of constant marginal rate of substitution. The second part, and which is a very important part of marginal rate of substitution, is increasing marginal rate of substitution. So again, as the name shows, the marginal rate of substitution of perfect substitutes is increasing if to obtain one more unit of X, more and more units of Y are sacrificed to maintain the same level of satisfaction. The slope of indifference curve is concave to the origin as shown in figure. As I told you, there are certain exceptions to the properties of indifference curve. So increasing marginal rate of substitution is one of them, because in this particular example or in this particular type, the IC will be concave to the origin. So we look at the schedule again. I have taken the similar example, apples and oranges, similar combination A, B and C and D. Now if you look at the change, the apples are increasing by 1, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The change is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But in case of oranges, it is 10, then 9, the change is 1, then 7 changes 2, then 4 changes 3. That means the sacrifice rate is increasing. So therefore 1 upon 1, 2 upon 1, 3 upon 1. So therefore it is known as increasing marginal rate of substitution. Now, if we talk about the curve part, as I told you, this is a exception to the indifference curve property. So it will be concave to the point of origin. On x-axis we will take apples, and on y-axis we will take oranges. When one apple is consumed, 10 oranges were consumed. When 2 apples were consumed, 9 oranges were consumed. When 3 apples were consumed, 7 oranges were consumed. And when 4 apples were consumed, 4 oranges were consumed. So this shows increasing marginal rate of substitution. Now the last part, that is diminishing marginal rate of substitution. The MRS is decreasing if to obtain one more unit of X, less and less units of Y is sacrificed to maintain the same level of satisfaction. So again, combination A, B, C and D. In the apples curve, we will see the changes again 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3 and 4. But in case of oranges, the change is decreasing. Earlier it were 10, the change is 3, 7, 5, changes 2, 4 and changes 1, which means 3 upon 1, 2 upon 1 and 1 upon 1, which means the sacrificing ratio is decreasing. So this is known as diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Out of these 3 types, the most important one is diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Reason is the IC curve is similar to the diminishing marginal rate of substitution. So therefore, diminishing marginal rate of substitution is one of the property of indifference curve. So again, we have taken apples on x-axis and oranges on y-axis. So if we look at the curve again, if we consume 1 apple, we are consuming 10 oranges, 2 apples and 7 oranges, 3 apples and 5 oranges, and 4 apples and 4 oranges. So it is convex to the point of origin. The similar curve we have discussed, that is indifference curve. So therefore, diminishing marginal rate of substitution is an important property of indifference curve. Now, why does marginal rate of substitution diminishes? This is a very important question. So law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution confirms the law of diminishing marginal utility. According to the law of diminishing marginal utility, as a consumer increases the consumption of a good, its marginal utility goes on diminishing. This is a very common example which we see in our day-to-day life. After a certain period of time, if we are using similar product again and again and again, so we have reached to a saturation point. After saturation point, our satisfaction level will decline. So similar case is with the marginal utility. So as a consumer increases the consumption of a good, after a certain point of time, its marginal utility, which is known as satisfaction, goes on diminishing, because there could be various factors behind the decrease in marginal utility. It could be monotonous, it could be change in fashion, it could be change in price. So after a certain level of consumption, the buyer will be bored with the good and they will switch to the competitor's product. So consumer will be willing to give up less and less units of oranges for every additional unit of apple. So marginal rate of substitution of apples for oranges diminishes. Now, assumptions of marginal rate of substitution. There are rational consumers, rational buyers available in the market. The utility is ordinal in nature. Diminishing marginal rate of substitution, as we discussed, it is an important assumption or property. There is non-static, that is, consumer is very much aware about the products, and consistency in selection. So these are the major assumptions of marginal rate of substitution. Last in this topic which is budget line. So in the earlier topic we discussed about only quantity of apples and oranges, or quantity of good X and good Y. But one of the major drawback, or you can say limitation, of indifference curve is that they do not consider the price of good X and good Y. We are not aware how much is the price of good X and how much is the price of good Y. So because of that limitation, the budget line is an important aspect which was evolved, and the topic which is a need of hour. So an indifference curve cannot possibly predict consumer behavior because it leaves two important types of information. The first one, the income of the consumer, and the price of commodity. So two major determinants which are not studied in indifference curve is how much is consumer spending, and the second one is what is the price of commodity X and commodity Y. So price and income information is supplied in a difference diagram by another curve which is called the budget line or price line. So how it looks like? So I have taken a small example. Suppose a buyer has an income of only 4 rupees. He wants to spend only 4 rupees and he wants to buy apples as well as oranges. Now the price of apples is rupee 1 per unit and price of orange is rupee 50 per unit. So if a buyer purchases 8 units of oranges, that means he has no money left, so apples purchased will be 0. Now if he has purchased 1 unit of apple, that means 1 rupee is spent, 3 rupees is balance, so he can purchase 6 units of oranges. Again, if he buys 2 units of apples, rest money he can spend on oranges. If he buys 3 units of apples, he can spend 2 units, he can purchase 2 units of oranges, and if he spends whole money on apples, he can't buy oranges. So therefore, this is a budget line in which two important parameters are studied. First is income of consumer and price of commodities. So how it look like? So there is a lot of variation between indifference curve and budget line, as indifference curve was convex. It is a straight line touching x-axis and y-axis both. Again, we have taken apples on x-axis and y-axis we have taken oranges. So it is a downward sloping line. Even it is touching x-axis because in our example we have taken 0 as unit of apples and we have taken also 0 as unit of oranges. So this is the curve or the graph of budget line. Now what are the properties of budget line? It will be a straight line. As I told you, it will touch x-axis or y-axis. It will have a negative slope. And how you can calculate the budget line? Inverse relationship, as we discussed, price of apples per unit divided by price of oranges. So how the budget line shifts? So two important determinants. The first determinant is change in income. If the price of two goods remains unchanged with increase in income, budget line shift to the right as shown by line CD. So if we look at the earlier line was AB. Now buyer was having only 4 rupees, now he has having 10 rupees. So he can purchase more apples and more oranges. So therefore, if there is an increase in income, CD, likewise if income decreases, the budget line will shift to left as shown by line EF. Its slope remaining the same. So rise in income, the curve will shift to the left. Fall in income, the curve will shift to the right, and the AB was the earlier curve of budget line. The second change could be due to change in prices. It could be change in price of one commodity. It could be change in price of two commodities. So due to proportionate change in prices, the position of budget line will change, but the slope of budget line will not change. Now if we look at the curve again, if there is fall in price, we can purchase more apples, and if there is rise in price, we can purchase less apples because buyer has to spend more on the particular commodity. So fall in price means you can have much better or much increase in quantity as compared to the earlier quantity, but if the price of apples or price of oranges will decrease, the units consumed or the units which can be bought by the buyer will be decreased. Second example in this particular curve is if the income of consumer and price of one commodity remains unchanged. So in our example, as we have taken example of apples and oranges, we are assuming there is a rise in price of apples and there could be fall in price of apples, but the price of oranges remains same. So if the income of the consumer and price of one commodity remains unchanged, but the price of other commodity changes, that means we are considering only one commodity and the price of only one commodity is changing, rest all the factors are similar. So then the slope of budget line will also change. Again, if there is fall in price of apples, you can buy more apples, and if there will be rise in price of apples, you can buy less apples. Reason, your income is similar, there is no change in the income of the buyer. Now next is consumer equilibrium. How you can calculate or how you can show the consumer's equilibrium with the help of indifference curve analysis. So consumer's equilibrium refers to a situation in which a consumer with given income and given prices purchases such a combination of goods and services that gives him maximum satisfaction and he is not willing to make any change in it. So if you look at the curve, So this is the consumer's equilibrium curve. So in this particular curve, first of all, we'll start with the budget line. I have plotted a budget line AB. Then I have plotted three different types of ICs, IC1, IC2 and IC3. So how you can calculate the consumer equilibrium point between the price line and indifference curve. So this is a very simple thing. Just that particular IC which will be tangent to the budget line, this IC2 is tangent at point D to budget line. This particular point will be equilibrium point of consumer. So at equilibrium point T, the slope of indifference curve and price line coincide. Slope of price line is indicative of marginal rate of substitution of good X and good Y. So this is a particular point which can be derived as, which can be termed as equilibrium point of consumer. So two main conditions of consumer's equilibrium. First, price slope of indifference curve, which is equal to slope of budget or price line. Again, the formula is similar. Price MRS, marginal rate of substitution of X and Y commodity, is equal to price of commodity X divided by price of commodity Y. Indifference curve should be convex to the point of origin, which was the basic property of indifference curve. So this is the point D, which shows the equilibrium point, and the various ICs can be plotted into similar curves. So this is indifference map also. Thank you so much.